The big three is something I'm not 100% enamored by. I see their strengths and I see many problems I have with their story. But there is one chapter, one single chapter of the big three that has stuck with me, has spoken out to me. And it's something I look at when watching a new anime. Does it have a scene like this? Does it have something that impacts me in a way that made me understand the character and the world and how they connect, how they intertwine? And that chapter is chapter 542 of Bleach. The Blade is Me. So, The Blade is Me is a chapter that discusses how Ichigo has been fighting in this world that he does not understand. All the things with Shinigami, spirits, ghosts, Bankai, Shikais, hollows, Quincy's, that is such a foreign concept to him. Something way out of his league that he was just pushed into because he had to fight to protect the ones that he cares about. Protect Rukia, his friends, Renji, his family, his sisters, his dad. So he doesn't lose anyone again, because one time he lost someone very important to him by one of those phenomena. He lost his mother at a young age. That gave Ichigo the mentality of trying to never lose. Ichigo always wants to make sure that his opportunity costs are never below what he's gaining, what he's earning. Even if he stays stagnant, that's okay, as long as he doesn't lose. And these many things are conflicting with just a normal teenage boy. Ichigo is conflicted with himself, with everything about the Quincy's, the hollows, White. He's confused. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to handle it. And his fear gets the better of him. He doesn't know whether to trust White or Old Man Zangetsu. Old Man Zangetsu leaves him throughout the middle of the series. We see White. White is chilling, scaring Ichigo, always on his mind. And Ichigo sees him as a threat, not as someone to help him, as someone to make him lose. By the chapter The Blade is Me, Ichigo understands that Old Man Zangetsu and White, he understands that both of them are a part of him, one from his mother's side, from his father's, and they were never trying to get rid of Ichigo, but trying to help him, because the two of them were at odds with each other. But Ichigo being the mediator, being the thing that is keeping both of them together, they both choose to let Ichigo decide what he wants, and he chooses both of them. He decides that he accepts both of them. He knows who he is. He's the son of a Shinigami, the son of a Quincy. He is Kurosaki Ichigo, and he will fight to protect the ones he loves. And that chapter from Bleach, once again, reminds me of a scene from my favorite anime, and it's episode number 8, Bocchi the Rock. So, I'm sorry. So, in this episode, the part where I'm sorry about that. So Bocchi and Nichika are having a talk. Nichika asks Bocchi if she's a guitar hero. Bocchi says yes, but what Hitori is explaining is that she didn't want to say anything. Why? Because Nichika, who knows who Guitar Hero is and actively listens to them, she knows that Nichika is inspired by Guitar Hero and likes listening to her covers. And how can Bocchi directly say to her face that someone who sucks as bad as her playing in a band is that person that she watches, the person that she looks up to? How can she sit there with a straight face and tell her that person you watch is actually me? Bocchi is ashamed of herself. She doesn't see herself as a guitar hero yet because being in a band has taken down her confidence, and being out there and having to perform in front of people has really taken her self-esteem down that Guitar Hero built. Because now those 3,000 followers don't really mean anything, because if she can't play with other people, in front of other people, then what was the point? Because her dream was to play in a band, play up front on stage. If she can't achieve that, then what was the point of any of that? It accomplished nothing. So when the outside world and Bocchi's dream are actively against her, who is there to give her a lift? Who's there to push her up? Nichika. She tells her that her dreams and aspirations and desire to make Starry and her band popular are all thanks to Bocchi, because before Nichika will lift up Bocchi, it's actually Bocchi who lifted up Nichika. When Nichika was down after their band's performance was failing, who was there to salvage it? Bocchi. That's something she's grateful for. That's something she's happy about. Honestly, Nichika couldn't be happier that the guitar hero that she watched and looked up to was actually the person who was performing with her, the person who lifted her up, the person who gives her a glimpse, a glimmer of hope that her dreams can become a reality. The Blade is Me is such an important chapter to Bleach because it is diving into Ichigo. It's diving into understanding how he feels and who he is, and him finally coming to terms with who he is, his surroundings, and what he wants and desires. It is Ichigo coming together to truly understand who he is. His conflicts within himself diverge away because he now accepts the people who he thought were against him or for him, and no longer is conflicted with the power he has, because he realized this whole time it was never something to fear. It's never something that would hurt Ichigo. Ichigo's powers were not meant to go against him, but to help him. But at the same time, they were conflicting with each other. But Ichigo, as a mediator, was there to calm both of them, to use both of them together in tandem, for his purposes only, for his desires only, and that's to protect. Why I love The Blade Is Me is because it isn't something that like is meant for one genre or category of fiction. It is something that can happen whether it's a comedy, romance manga, shonen. It's not like a power up or anything, or a realization of you loving someone. It is a realization of who you are in the surroundings you are born in, the surroundings you are placed in. It is understanding who you are in this world that you are in. And even if the world is normal, if you compare Bocchi and Bleach, it's Bleach is with the Soul Society, Wikamundo, wherever they are now. I forgot what the name is. But Bleach has a whole new world to it. But Bocchi is just in standard Japan. But the concept is the same. It is Ichigo and Bocchi trying to figure out who they are in this confusing world that they don't have a grasp on yet. And that is something that can be applied to many pieces of fiction, not just an action manga. Now, I've mentioned Bocchi the Rock, and why am I not applying this to any other show? Like Kaguya-sama, Blue Lock, freaking nothing's coming out of the top of my head, but why am I only applying it to Bocchi? Because I love Bocchi. I love Bocchi the Rock, that's literally it. That's the only explanation I have. I just wanted to talk about Bocchi. So, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, bye-bye.